Hello and welcome back to another Sports Playground video, and today I'm here to talk about the MLB Postseason. And I sit here at 3:47 on a Tuesday, September 29th, which is the first day of the 2020 postseason. And as of right now, I haven't seen any of the two games currently going on, which are the Sox and the Athletics, and the Twins and the Astros, I believe, are the two games on. And the only thing that I have seen, actually, is that Adam Engel hit a home run for the White Sox, and that's all I know. So I'm going into this with no knowledge of what is currently going on. And anyway, these are my postseason predictions, actually. I'm a little late to the party, but this will get the job done. Anyway, so first up we have the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Toronto Blue Jays. This is a series that, I mean, it's between two teams from the same division, so the rivalry is gonna be there, and I think that this is gonna be 2-0 to the Rays in the wild card. Honestly, the Blue Jays are a very young team, and I like where they're going, but they're just not there yet. They're not quite as good as the Rays are. So, yeah. And next up, we have the Indians and the Yankees. The Indians always seem to benefit from being in a pretty trash division, along with having to play the NL Central, which the NL Central was good this year, but having to play the Pirates is never a tough task. I mean, they had like 13 wins. That's awful. They were the worst team. And they have to play the Yankees. The Indians are tasked with the Yankees, and I think this is going to be a 2-0 series for the Yankees. I mean, they play much harder teams. The NL East is better than the NL Central, and the AL East is better than the AL Central. So I just feel like the division prestige and all of the trials that the Yankees had to go through this season are what's going to put them ahead, along with their deeper playoff runs than the Indians have had since that World Series. That team isn't the same team now anymore. Anyway, moving on, we have the Twins and the Astros. I could see this series going either way. I really like the Twins in this one. I'm saying it'll be 2-1 Twins. The Twins are going to take Game 1 and Game 3, and the Astros will take one right in the middle. Again, this Astros team is, the team that benefited from the whole trash can scandal. You know what that is, and if you don't, it's pretty easy. Just look up Astros trash can, and you'll find all of their players, and you'll also find their scandal that they had. I was just messing about the players, but you get it. It'll be a close series because, again, same thing with the division prestige on the Twins. I think their record is a little bit buffed by their schedule, but they'll make it through this first round, in my opinion. And then moving on now to the Angels and the White Sox. I have the Angels in this one, excuse me, not the Angels, that's the wrong A team. The Athletics and the White Sox, which is currently going on. I have the Athletics in 3. They're gonna take this one home. It's probably going to be some strong hitting victories, as it always is for these Athletics team. I mean, they're just amazing hitters, and I don't think that the White Sox have the ability to keep up with them. And moving on, we have the National League now. So there is the Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers barely snuck into the postseason. It was a really, really close call for the Brewers, all the Phillies had to do was win 1 out of 3 games and they were out. But Phillies, of course, were unsuccessful because they can't seem to win in clutch situations, which disappoints me as a Phillies fan. Anyway, this is going to be Dodgers in 2. Dodgers are just too strong. I don't know that anyone can take them out, except for, if you cheat like the Red Sox and the Astros did. Anyway, moving on, we have the Padres and the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals were a postseason shocker last year, and that's why I have the Cardinals actually winning this one 2-1. I just always like the way the Cardinals are able to turn up and play good in clutch situations. They did the same thing last year where they were able to pull out some victories when no one was really expecting them to in the postseason. And next up, we have the Marlins and the Cubs. So the Marlins are a team that benefited from an amazing early season, and they rode it. They started falling off, but they turned it around and picked it back up. And the Cubs are a team, a lot of people had them around 500, but they were able to make the playoffs. They were a strong team. They played good, and I have the Cubs in 2 in this one. Cubs are going to just smush the Marlins in both of these games and move on into the NLDS. And then, moving on to the last series in the National League Wild Card, we have the Braves and the Reds. I'm taking the Braves in 3. It's really hard for me to bet against this team because they're so strong. Their bullpen is great. Their hitting is great. Their starting pitching could use work, but I think that everything is going to go just fine for the Braves, and they're going to move on in 3. And back over to the AL, we're going to have the ALDS now. So we have the Rays versus the Yankees, the division rematch, and again, I'm gonna say it. The Rays were able to do it all season, and they're gonna do it again. They're gonna take out the Yankees. They're gonna do it in 5, but still, a one series is a one series, and they're gonna be moving on to that ALCS. Anyway, I've got the Rays in 5. Their team just played better than the Yankees did all season, and the Yankees had to take some injuries along the way, which slowed them down and kept them from getting the chemistry they probably wanted. And that's tough as a Yankees fan to go out in ALDS when you're expecting probably a World Series berth going into the season. Now, moving on, we have the Twins and the Athletics, and it's going to be Athletics in 4 for me. I just really like the Athletics. This team can always hit well, and I feel like they're just a more skilled team. These are both powerhouse teams when it comes to hitting, but I feel like the A's have an advantage. Just their pitching, in my opinion, is also just a little bit better. But anyway, it'll be Athletics in 4 over the Twins, and Rays in 5 over the Yankees in the AL, in the ALDS. And then in the NLDS, we have Cardinals versus Dodgers, and I have the Dodgers in 4. Cardinals are not good enough to take out such a strong Dodgers team, though they will take a game somewhere in the mix. And this is just not the way the Cardinals want to go out, but it's so tough when you're placed in a position where you have to face the Dodgers in the NLDS. They already had to face the Padres, which is a really tough team to play. This is just going to be too hard of a route for the Cardinals here. And next up, we have the Cubs versus the Braves, and I see this one going to 5, and I I see the Cardinals winning not the Cardinals, the Cubs, that other team in the NL Central. I see the Cubs taking this one. That team they proved to be better than their roster was all season, and I thought the Braves would be so much better than they were, and they still were great. Don't get me wrong; they were a very, very good team, and they played great. But I don't know. I like the Cubs over the Braves. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit biased, but that's just me. And moving on, we're gonna have the ALCS. We have one that you don't see. This is not a common matchup here. We've got the Rays versus the Athletics, though it may be the 1 versus 2 seed on this side. I do see the Athletics going and winning this series in 7 games. I just really feel like the Athletics have the talent and they have the coaching to take this all the way. This has been a really good format for them, because sometimes they sputter somewhere in the middle of the season, and this year they were able to keep it going the entire time, and they'll have that momentum rolling, and I think they won't be able to be stopped as they move on to the World Series. And next up, we have the Dodgers and the Cubs. I definitely see the Dodgers moving on here. I think it'll be a Dodgers in 6 situation, maybe 5 if they play really good. Again, this team is dominant, great hitters, great pitchers, and the Cubs have, I believe, overplayed their expectations. They'll probably be okay with exiting at this point. No one wants to exit in the NLCS, but they overperformed in most people's minds, including mine. And next up is the World Series itself. It will be a awesome World Series. I think this one will be a classic. We'll have the Athletics and the Dodgers, and I ultimately see the Dodgers. They've been in a win now mode all this time, and the win now mode has taken them to that World Series championship they wanted in 7 games over the Athletics. Took a lot of hard work from the team, but they took it home. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.